Hey, welcome back to another episode of Caskrabbits. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to have a little bit of fun. I was able to acquire a sample of Peerless Tenure Batch 1, which is their first release, so this is very exciting. As you guys can see on my different bottles on the bar here, I have some other Peerless. This is a single pick from High Proof, I believe, or actually, no, it's not High Proof. It's from the Barrel Trap double oak rye whiskey. This is just a regular rye whiskey toasted. I really love these guys. So when I was able to get the opportunity to get one of these samples, I was like, I got to jump on it. I really want to do a review. Basically, the founder of Kentucky Peerless, Henry Kraver, Peerless set out to honor their heritage. This release marks 10 years of whiskey aging since the family revived the Peerless brand. Henry Kraver started crafting Peerless whiskey in 1889. It's the fourth and fifth generation descendants of Kraver operate under the same DSP KY50 as Kraver did in the 1800s. So the Peerless Tenure, it's 117.6 proof. It's a Kentucky straight bourbon because it is made in Kentucky. And it's a $195 bottle. So not cheap, right? For Tenure, that's quite a bit. But again, they're a craft distillery. They make really cool stuff. They're usually a little bit on the higher end side in terms of pricing, but they're really, really fun and they just make wonderful product. One thing I will say is I have actually been to the Peerless Distillery and they actually have a wonderful tour to try out. And they also have a great tasting. One of the funnest tasting that I did when I was on my big tour of Kentucky was at Peerless. So I definitely encourage you guys, if you're there, I would not skip that one because the guys there are just really chill, super cool. You get a lot of different pours. They're really not shy with giving you big pours, which I enjoy as well. And I'm sure you do as well. So, I mean, today what we're going to try to figure out is this 10-year-old bourbon, is it worth the money, right? Is it worth the $195? And I asked some of my folks and friends at the Arizona Barrelheads, hey, what would be kind of fun to try against? So I chose, one person told me Michter's Tenure, which will be interesting because it's not as high proof. I think it's about 94. And then I just picked this up recently on the advice of our main fierce leader, Eric, on Arizona Barrelheads, and it is fantastic. It's called Louisville. It's a 9-year straight bourbon whiskey. It's called California Cream. You can get Louisville. You're starting to see them more and more. So they are, you can find them. They're not, unfindable. They're a little bit on the pricier side. So for like a 9-year, you're going to pay $120. One of the other bottle I have here, which I might try at the end, we'll see, is the 1792 12-year. That's like 1-year release, but you can get them and it's like $55 or $60. That could be fun to try against, but we're gonna try the Michter's first because it's lower proof, then the Peerless, then the Louisville, and we can kind of talk a little bit about what's going on between the bottles. The Michter. Michter is so unique. If you've never had it, you have to do it once. You should buy the regular Tenure and the rye Tenure because they're both fantastic bottles. And they're a little bit on the pricier side. They're more like this is like 150, I think. And I think the rye is about that, maybe a little bit more, between 150, 225, I think, just depends. Oh, Michter is such a unique profile. Delicious. It's got a lot of brown sugar. It's quite spicy. It's funny, for being lower proof, it still packs a punch. At least to me it does. It's wonderful. Let's see the Peerless. So on the Peerless, I took some notes a little bit because I wanted to see if that's what I get. I've had this open for about 10 minutes or so. I wanted to make sure that it would open up in the glass. That's a lovely nose, actually. It's interesting. So it's funny, the Michter has a stronger nose than the Peerless. But that's what makes Michter so unique. So this is kind of an interesting comparison. Yeah, I get the almond extract. I do feel a little bit of like a spiciness character and ethanol for me. I'm not getting, it is sweet. I'm not getting the the smoldering tobacco. I have to really think about that. That's what some of the notes they explain. Mmm. Oh, that is really good. Wow. I do feel like so it's punchy for sure. The 117 you can definitely feel. It's much more complex in the sense of it's thicker, more oily. It's got a sweet taste. I don't know about the French vanilla ice cream. I just feel like it's one of those bourbon. It's actually what I tasted too is a little bit of the craftiness. And what I mean by that, sometimes with like Frey Ranch or Woodensville, those kind of like more craftier whiskeys, you're gonna get a little bit more dusty. Oh, the nose is really opening. Wow, the finish is forever. That is magnificent. I do like the creamy, it is creamy and sweet. Maybe there is vanilla, but for me, yeah, it's kind of like, it's thick, it's oily, but it's sweet. It just covers your whole, like, your whole area, basically, of your lungs. It's just, oh, it's just so good. Like, yeah, it's just wonderful. It just comes down. Let's look against the Louisville, because I am a big fan of that bottle. So I was like, huh, I wonder how that will hold up. This is a little bit higher proof though. So this is one less year, but 5 more proofs. So 122. The nose is not as strong as the Peerless. Yeah, the Peerless, the nose is insane. It's spicy, brown, like maybe nutmeggy a little bit. This has got some similarities as well. Let's see. So here, you get more like orange vibes, more citrusy notes, and I'm assuming that's why they call it a California cream, at least the label. So it's much more on the fruitier side, but more like the orange type kind of a note, kind of a fruit. It's very, very good. All right, well, we've completed our kind of our first round, like our first feelings. What I always mention in the videos is that as you go back and revisit, it will change. So it's really nice to kind of have your first wave, but then revisit the noses, the tasting, the finish, and really see what you like. And let's have a conclusion on this. I kind of want to go through the noses. I love the Michter's nose. It's just so delicate. Yeah, so on this one you feel a little bit more of the oak, I feel like a little bit more of the wood. Definitely sweet. And then, see, I almost cheated. I almost had another swig. Man, this guy has got a great nose too. I think this is a killer bottle. I'm a big fan of orange chocolate. This would be great with that. That's a perfect compliment. Okay. So let's go back with the Michter's. Damn, it's so good. You know what's great about the Michter's too? Because I used to chase proof all the time. I think what a lot of us do as you get into this, but you know, at, what is it again? 47? 47.2 ABV. It's wonderful. It's perfectly balanced. It's not burning. It's just really, really good. Now let's go up with the Peerless here, 10-year. So you feel a little bit more of the proof, but it's different. This is more like with the oak, I feel. Definitely like more wood, more oak, caramel, sugar. I will say it's awesome. There's No doubt about that. I know people like use a lot the 0 to 10 scale. I would say this is the Peerless is, well, maybe we can do that at the end. These are all great pours. Holy moly. That's delicious. You know, so here's my conclusion. If you've never had a Michter 10-year, you should have one time in your life. And I think I was wrong earlier. I think it's more like 200, 225 for the 10-year regular or even the rye. You should buy one. The Peerless 10-year, if you can find one, which is pretty much impossible, if you could buy at MSRP, I would say don't even think about it. Pay the $195, no problem. It's that good. It's killer. Would I pay $300, $400? It's hard because then you have this guy, and these go for $129, $120 sometimes if you get lucky, maybe $140, $130. So like at Costco, I think it was $119. Great deal. And it's awesome. It's almost as good as this, honestly. It's different a little bit because this is more oranges, like I mentioned, but honestly, it's good to know that there's alternatives. So that's kind of my conclusion there. You know, when I look at the Peerless, I'll just kind of do a scoring kind of a little bit off the cuff, but I'd say like 0 to 10, you know, 8 being like excellent, like really good, very good. 9 is excellent. 10 is off the world. I'd say like, this is like a 8.7, 8.8. Like it's really good. Like you don't want to miss out on that. It's awesome. You know, it'd be great too to compare against maybe some of the BTACs just to see how well it can compete. And I like the fact that it has a little bit of the crafty in there. For me, at least, that's what I tasted, especially on the first pour. But yeah, hopefully you guys had a good time with me today. I hope it was an interesting tasting. Leave a comment, you know, in the comment section below, and then let me know what else you'd like to see. Would you like to compare? You know, somebody told me compare to Eagle Rare 10. I love Eagle Rare, no problem. Maybe against a store pick, because Eagle Rare is only 90 proof, and it is a 10-year. I just don't know if it would have had enough power or oomph to try. So I'm not sure. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. Let's take a quick look at the 12-year and see if that can compete. You know, that's really good, but it's very different. So the 12-year, 48 ABV, so compute 96%, basically 96 proof, 12 years, more bananas, and that's what 1792 is known for. I really like, but I don't think it compares though. I don't think it's too different in terms of the notes. I think this is much better. It stays more into that kind of purist bourbon notes. So I'd say I'm glad I tried, but it is too different. This is actually a pretty darn good comparison. So if you guys want to try or you have something similar, give it a shot. All right. Well, thank you guys very much. Hope you had a great time. Caskrabbits out, and we'll see you in the next episode. Have a great one. Take care.